This week on the BlastCast, we talk about the Idris damage model, and we also go into personal ship selections. Which ship would you choose if you only had one in the persistent universe? This week on the BlastCast. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another week of BlastCast. Of course, this is Jairus, and once again with me is my Bastion of Common Sense Lightning Dragon. And this week, of course, No Man's Sky was delayed on PC until the 12th. I will still be doing videos on that if everyone isn't No Man's Sky'd out. But I do have a killer rig, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the differences are on the PC, and it definitely will be cranked up all the way. Well, this week, of course, there's a couple subjects we wanted to talk about. First was, of course, the great display that CIG did when they showed us the damage on the Idris. That was probably one of the most spectacular damages models I've ever seen. And what we were thinking about is how they're going to transition that. There's a lot of questions on the forums, like, when you have a normal Idris, you have the normal rooms. I mean, are they going to try to mask that? Are the beams actually going to fall? Are they going to hide them creatively? I mean, what are your thoughts on that, Lightning?
With the damage states?
Yeah, how do you think they're going to transition those? Do you think you're going to see like the beams fall in, or do you think there's going to be like explosions and it's going to be masked behind it? I mean, what do you think they're going to do with that? Because I personally think they're going to have to hide those transitions with creative pyrotechnics.
I would agree. I think you're going to see like either an explosion to cover up where something is changing, or possibly a screen shake and a small blackout where your screen is actually black for like 1 to 2 seconds, and then it'll swap over the textures really quick. Or it may be, I think you said this yourself, where you don't actually see the damage transitioning until you like leave that area. Like other areas that are being focus fired, if the player is in there, it doesn't update even if it's taken, the whatever percent of damage. But if they leave that area, because like the sound effects are making it sound like this area is being pummeled, if you stay here you may die. If they leave that area, if they turn around and look, because they've left that zone, when they turn back around, it'll reload that zone and you'll have like the really destroyed or burned zone.
Yeah, and that's a possibility. The thing is that when I wonder about a system like that, because these ships are going to be, multi-crew, you could have dozens and dozens of players on there. That'd be pretty hard to implement, only showing sections where players are not being modified. So, to me, as I was thinking about that, that might be pretty unwieldy. So I'm really hoping that they can go along. I mean, they've surprised us. I mean, we had procedural planets, we've had all these things come up, and as much as I think they may just hide them behind pyrotechnics, if they surprise me and we actually see it happen, like real-time deformation, with the way they've been going with these kind of graphics, I would be pleasantly surprised, but I wouldn't be taken aback, because I think that they have it in them to do it. I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see what kind of tech they're running with on this, but I mean, you can see from these images that I'm running in the background, this is just impressive stuff. There's nothing about this to me, from the sound effect, the lighting, and everything in it, that just imagine coming across one of these in space, and just as a derelict, and going into something like this. And I think the one they were showing was on a planet. And they said,
I wasn't surprised by procedural planets. I pretty much said right from the start, if they want to have X amount of planets, they need to get procedural generation.
Well, I knew they were coming. I wasn't expecting them to come that soon. This was something that was one of the stretch goals. But the way they were talking about it, they were saying it was way down the road. And on top of that, they said, well, maybe someday, possibly, we'll consider doing planets that have orbits and have real day-night cycles because they're spinning around the sun, and they're doing it.
Yeah, the orbit thing definitely came as a surprise. I figured, they might have it where like updates every so many hours or something, and now it's getting, dark out or whatever. And then, if you leave and come back, it's definitely nighttime here. Because, I mean, even if they have it as halftime, right? How many people are going to be on a planet for 12 hours for
Yeah.
it to actually go from, dawn to dusk or whatever. Probably not a whole lot of people,
Right.
given, that you probably have a life outside of staying on a planet for 12
Well,
hours. I mean,
they had
maybe.
to they had to retool everything. You see, the CryEngine, the sun by default is an object about 10 kilometers away, and it's what they had to do was actually create a physical sun, make it the right size, put it into and have it at the right distance. And that was a retooling of something that was coded in hard into CryEngine, and that's a heck of an achievement. But that's what you get when you hire basically all the CryEngine developers who wanted the CD engine upgraded desperately, and you throw them into your team. They're like, "Whoa, let's get it done." And this is just to me that's amazing. But going back to like when we're looking at these particle effects on the Idris, the atmospheric effects, one of the devs was stating that say that this happened in space and someone opens an airlock door, those particles are actually they're actually programming them. So if there's a breach or if there's something opened up into an area with no atmosphere, those particles will get sucked out. They actually will get pulled through that opening or that gap or that open doorway. So they're actually setting it all up. So when you see like the sprinklers and stuff, I wonder if they're going to have that with the water. You can see water whipping through the air down the halls. I'm really curious to see how far they take this. As I said, I think CIG did a great job on this. I have watched this set of videos on this. I can't even remember how many times, a lot. And it is absolutely just gorgeous. And they really just raised the bar again. Fantastic. So other than that, what we want to talk about this week is it's kind of a dry week. There's a lot of things ready to come out because we got GamesCon coming out here, and they're going to be doing that 5-day live stream on their Idris bridge. And so basically, what I kind of want to talk about. There's a lot of people out there who, they're trying to decide on a ship. They maybe they only have one ship to pick from, or they have a limited budget. They're not crazy like me and have like 19 ships. So I was thinking about,
All
what
the
would
ships forever.
all the ships forever. So the thing is that what would be the ideal ship for an individual? And of course, that's an individual question with an individual answer. But for me, if I had one ship to pick, if I had one ship to build my entire fleet around, build all that money for, I personally would pick the Freelancer Dur. And the reason is it covers exploration, so I can also find asteroid fields and derelicts for my fleet. I can explore strange new worlds, seek out new life, and all that
Boldly
stuff.
go where no one has gone before.
I throw a couple dragonflies in the back. I can do cargo with it, and I figure with the extended sensors, I can probably pick up pirates before they pick me up, making it a great smuggler ship if I'm trying to avoid either pirates or authority. To me, it's one of those well-rounded ships. It only requires one person, or one person and an NPC, or one person and a friend. And it's got enough seats in there you can ferry 5 people comfortably. You get the pilot, the 3 passenger seats, and the turret. And so there's a lot of good variety in there on that ship. I feel that just for an all-around, I don't know what I'm going to do, or I just want to make some money and kind of keep it easy. To me, the Freelancer Dur offers just a variety of different game styles that you can do, and I love it. I just hope they get rid of the chin boobs. Not a fan of those. Of course, we haven't seen the new model changes. We've only seen the models to the base Freelancer.
I think with as much backlash that's had, I would hope that they'd go, oops, maybe we didn't think about that much. I mean, you look at modern day airplanes, the nose cone has all the sensors in it, and it looks
Yeah.
like a cone. And if there's extended sensor packages,
Mhm.
it's more of a egg shape. It's still
Yeah.
a cone, but it's wider on the bottom, and it's just got extra sensors in there.
Well, Lightning, what's your ideal ship? What do you think? What do you see yourself flying around in the most?
If I was limited to only one ship and I was just coming into the game, or if I was recommending it to somebody else, I'd tell people to get the Avenger, honestly. Preferably the Titan version here. I believe it's the Titan.
The cargo version, right?
Yeah, Titan without any modules. The basic one is the Stalker. I believe
Yeah.
that comes with the pirate cells. But honestly, I think bounty hunting is going to be relatively hard unless you specifically get a mission from like an NPC that says fly to Planet Bob and there will be an NPC here in this town. He probably frequents this bar. So unless you have something that tells you exactly what planet to go and what location to go to on that planet, I think bounty hunting is going to be kind of a pain in the ass. So if you look at the Titan variant,
Yeah.
it has amazing field of vision.
Mm-hmm.
It's got it's got the standard 3 guns plus missiles. Honestly, it looks like it has extended drop tanks on there. That may just be a feature they added to make it look cool. It has wheels. I mean, you can't go wrong with wheels. And it can haul cargo. So if you want to be a fighter, you can be a fighter. If you want to have a little bit of cargo, you can do cargo. And you're getting into the game at a lot cheaper of a price. I mean,
yeah, and it's got a bed for
$75
logging
or $80, and that's the ship plus the game.
No, that's a good point, and I hadn't really considered that. And that's you got the bed for logging out. It is a combat vessel. It's a cargo vessel. I consider one that probably would be a lot safer to use.
It'd be cheaper to run too.
Like the Aurora, because and in some respects, because the things I don't like about the cargo ships that the boxes are outside is everyone can see if you have cargo or not. The ships that have things internally, they're gonna have to scan you. It's not so obvious.
If you had more money to let's say you had $200, or like I'm gonna spend up to $200, I might recommend something more like the Caterpillar. Hopefully when they have the new stats revealed, they'd be like, oh, this is actually like 100 and something meters long, and it can carry 4 times the cargo as a Connie. I mean, but if you're not
the Caterpillar, I think, is way more than 200 now. I think the Caterpillar,
it's gonna be huge.
Yeah, I know. I mean, more than $200.
Is it? I thought it was 160.
No, it's gone up since then.
Bummer.
Well, it's a bigger ship
I mean,
now.
if you were just getting into the game, I think the Avenger is one of the better ships. It's one of the ships that I wanted for a long time, and I still kind of do. But at the same time, because I have my Retaliator, I don't really need a dual-purpose ship. But if you wanted something that was dual purpose, you can get into the game a hell of a lot cheaper, and not to mention you can upgrade your things. It doesn't have a very advanced sensor package, but maybe it's better because it's a patrol, instead of a dogfighter. So maybe it has extended radar on top of that. So it starts off with better, radar or sensor suite just because of its nature, and you can upgrade on top of that. So, you're not even factoring in the upgrade potential of these vehicles, which are still an unknown factor.
Yeah, in the Avenger, that's a ship I actually did own like twice, and I've always debated going back and just getting one of my LTI token ships, just buying that back, and then just your cross-chassing over to an Avenger. Also with atmospheric flight model coming in, it's going to handle well in the atmosphere. I mean, the thing looks like a space shuttle. It'll do the job.
It reminds me kind of a Penguin, and
a little bit, yeah.
Not bad. I like it. It's one of the sleeker ships. I believe they made it bigger too, because there was a couple clipping issues they had.
Yeah, they've been making adjustments to it, and I think it's been one of the more consistently sleek models since the start of the game. But I really have to agree with their choice there. I mean, I went with a bit pricier, but if you're looking at a relatively inexpensive entry ship that lets you do so much, then I would really have to say the Avenger is like a 5-star pick. That ship is just solid across the board, and I see a lot of them out there. And if there's ever a ship that I would pick up again, because I don't look at it solely as a fighter. There's sometimes you're going to be out there playing the game. You're going to want to just shop around for a gun, just a gun or 1 or 2 guns, and you're going to go out to a place. You're going to be hopping from system to system, maybe looking for something in particular, and it's not going to take up much cargo space. Do you want to grab something like a Freelancer? Do you want to grab a Connie? No, you're just maybe you want to just grab the Avenger and throw it into the back of the Avenger and fly it back, and that kind of thing. That kind of ship is really ideal for those small kind of runs where you're just trying to keep low key or you just want to get in and out quickly. I mean that kind of thing to me is just one of those reasons that every time I look at that ship, it just makes me wish I still had it in my hangar. And I've got so many ships, but that's one of the only ones I think that can still fit.
It's the ship that got away.
Well, no, I can get it back, but to me, it's like I look at that, and I mean maybe I'll just buy it back for myself for my birthday, which was just 2 days ago.
Yesterday or the day before?
Yeah, it's 2 days ago.
Oh,
So basically, yeah. So it's one of those things that I think that's a great choice. I didn't even consider that. Definitely, I think you're going to win on this one here as far as the comparison goes. Because if I had picked, you throw a price point on that, and the Avenger
yeah. That's
is
kind of when I was looking at. I'm like, why are you looking into that one? Well, there's a reason I'm looking into that one. I'm surprised you didn't realize
and
it yet.
And you know how I feel about visibility, especially when you're dealing with stuff like Oculus and Track IR.
Oh, definitely.
Visibility and situational awareness is such a major thing when it comes to combat. I have played lots of World War II sims and other flight sims during the years. There is no better ship in this game for visibility than the Avenger. That thing, you have to look down to see your control panel. I mean, it's like you have your practically have your face smashed against the glass. There's like it is like you're just in space. And if you have a track IR or an Oculus and you're in a dogfight, that ability to see everything is just can really make or break. You may not have as many guns, you may not be as fast, you may not be whatever, but you know what? Being aware of everything going on around you will save your life time and time again. I can tell you that from playing tons of World War II PvP combat sims like IL2. Situational awareness will win so many battles. And yeah, wow, good pick across the board. So anyway, guys, leave us your suggestions down below. Let us know what's the ideal ship for you. What ship did you buy? If you have multiple ships, which one do you consider to be the one that you're going to use the most, and why is that? I'm curious to see what you guys out there think, and what your game style is preferred to be. And we're trying to build this community here, and I just think it'd be kind of fun to see what your thoughts are on the subject. So anyway, of course, this is Jar.
You don't want to
Huh?
touch on larger ship options.
No. Because we're talking about something that's more reasonable. I mean, something that's some guys get something within. I mean, we're not going to show up to the Connie. There's a lot of different things we could go up to. I think when you said Avenger, you kind of nailed it. I hate to say it,
I
but
destroyed the argument.
yeah, you kind of just went. It's like you threw the ace onto the card pile. And went, I win. So yeah, buy an Avenger, folks. It can't go wrong. Crap Almighty. The 300 series to me, I never really liked very much. It felt kind of limiting, but the
300 series it's what I grabbed to start because I didn't want the Aurora.
yeah
And if I had spent like known more about it, and if I went and bought the Titan, or sorry, the Titan, if I went and got the Avenger first, I'd probably still have it right now. I mean, I have my Gladiator or
Gladius.
Gladius. Stupid naming design. I have my Gladius, and I like the ship, but until like armor values get in and better thruster model gets in, it's not good in the current game, I guess meta, if you want to use that word. So
Yeah.
I'm still happy with that ship, but I mean, it'd be really hard to switch over because of the price difference for me, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
I have a Retaliator, so I mean, if I want to do cargo runs, I mean, it's not small and easy to maneuver.
That's true.
But
And you can switch all those bomb bays for the cargo bays, and you're
yeah,
set.
yeah.
Or you can turn it into a passenger ship as
I'm
well.
never gonna ferry passengers unless they pay
Oh,
me
come on.
ridiculous money.
Just bring them all in your ship, get into D space, pull out your gun, walk back, rip off their wallets, and open the bomb bay doors.
There we go. That'll work.
And go back and pick up some more. No. All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening. As I said, leave your comments down below about what is your ship, the one that among all your selections you think you're going to be flying the most, and why. We're interested to hear it. So, all right, guys. Well, here's hoping this week the PTU comes out. If it is, it looks like they're letting the backers, the guys who subscribe, come in first, and I am one of those. So I will go ahead and throw as much information as I can at you, like I did before. And we'll catch you next week on the BlastCast. I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk about with Gamescom coming out. So thanks for listening. Yeah, let's hope so. Bye.
Bye.
Well, another Round the Verse came out this week, and I'm just going to give you the highlights real quick. Of course, as you can see here, they are doing a new landing system. It gives you more feedback, exactly what pads are available, and gives you kind of a nice visual representation. It sounds like now as well that to activate landing mode, you have to actually